LA Baby Gurus, and we're back with our friend and client, Ashley.
Hi.
And we promised in one of our previous videos that we would talk about scheduling. And we've also talked about breast and bottle feeding, and who would be better to tell you than a mother who have experienced our tools.
With 4 children.
Yes.
Well, I can tell you that the wheels fall off the train very easily if you don't have a schedule. I would never have had 4 children if it wasn't for the things that I learned with these 2 ladies. It's really important for you and the baby that you guys have a strict schedule. And as the baby gets older, it can change, but you have to have the basic building blocks there, I think, for sure.
Yes, because it's so important to teach your baby on what's going on and what's coming instead of on demand.
Yes, babies that can predict what's going to happen, they just do better overall.
Yes, they really do. Say, for instance, if you want to start at 8 o'clock in the morning, you can do like an 8, and depending on what your baby weighs, of course, if your baby is small, then you may have to feed them closer to 2.5. But if they're older, you can make it 3 hours.
Yeah, depending on their weight. Usually when they gain the weight back, because all babies basically lose a little bit of weight that first week. And if they were born at a regular size, not premature.
Say 7, 8 pounds.
Exactly. Then they gain the weight back. Then about another week or so, you know, so about 2 weeks. And then if everything is healthy, you can do a 3-hour schedule. So you would feed the baby if you started, let's say 8 a.m., then it would be 11, and then 2, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah. And you can do this schedule whether you're strictly breastfeeding or if you're breastfeeding and bottle feeding.
And Ashley has experience with both.
Yes.
And you can blend the 2. I think as a mother, you think, oh, I'm only going to breastfeed my baby. And that's a beautiful thing if you can. I admire mothers so much that have the ability to only breastfeed. But not all of us can do that for whatever reason. Working full time, or maybe you just biologically aren't set up for that. And that's okay. And I think it's really important that you know it's okay to breastfeed as much as you can. And if you have to maybe give a bottle every other feed, or if you have to nurse and then give a bottle, that you allow yourself to do that.
And Ashley, let's ask you, at the time when you were first having your first baby and you were preparing to breastfeed, did you feel pressure from family and friends to just breastfeed completely without using bottles or formula?
You know, that's a great question. I think more than feeling pressure from my friends and my family, I felt a lot of support from them. I felt pressure from myself.
From yourself.
Yes.
And it took a long time for me to accept that I could not do it all. I couldn't work and breastfeed and be the perfect mother and be the perfect wife and keep a perfect house. But that was just me. I know people out there can do it, but I really struggled with that. And Sherma and Laura helped me understand that it's okay to not do it all.
Yeah, because when you put that pressure on yourself, it messes with your milk supply. It messes with your sleeping. It can mess with your diet.
And with your mood, your mind,
exactly.
your state of being.
Yes, so you have to be real careful and don't feel any shame, because there's no reason to feel shame in having help. I mean, actually, I think it's smart.
Yeah.
Instead of, beating yourself up, it's just not worth it. It's really not.
And so you were able to continually breastfeed with the support of having bottles as backup for some of the feeds throughout your pregnancy.
Absolutely. Yes. And, you know, another tool, Sherma was instrumental in teaching me how to have the baby latch properly and just the rhythm I needed to build to get my best milk supply. She also helped me out with pumping. She had a lot of great pumping tips. And that's a nice thing to kind of fold into the mix, because maybe you have a bottle that's half breast milk and half formula because you have a really aggressive feeder and you're just not producing 60 ounces of breast milk a day, which is what it takes to feed a human being that's starving and growing. Okay.
And your kids, they had great appetites.
Yes.
Which was beautiful. That was beautiful. You wouldn't think a person this small and this cute have these huge babies. 10 pounds.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you.
And they came out hungry. So we had to feed them. So each child is different, just like each family and their circumstances are different. But we just wanted you to hear it from someone who's experienced it with 4 children, so you know, okay, maybe she's saying something out there that's gonna help me, because that's our goal always, is to help you.
And that you feel supported, that you're not the only one who can't do it all.
Exactly, because, you know, we as women, we're strong, and we just want to do everything, you know, and even when the husband offers, it's like, oh, are you going to do it right? Are you going to be able to give that bottle like I do? You know, but you have to learn how to surrender and let other people help you so that you can get back to your life, and especially once you have other children. You know, the baby is fine if they're fed and clean and diapered, but that other child who knows what's happening around them, you have to be aware of their feelings.
And how beneficial was it for you when you had your second child to have your first child, Debbie, on a schedule?
Well, first, I wouldn't have had 4 children if it wasn't for Sherma. I just wouldn't have, I couldn't have done it without what they taught me. And the schedule really helped. You know, the schedule was so instrumental in having all of my children that I have a 6-year-old now. She'll be 7 in May. And she still naps on the weekend. Thank you.
Yes.
All of my children, they love their structure of their schedule, and mommy loves the structure of the schedule, because I know no matter how the day is going, we have a nap at a certain time. And it's all of it comes into play, and it makes for really happy kids when they are certain, I know how my day's gonna go. I'm going to have breakfast, I'm going to the park, I'm gonna do this and that and the other, and it's really a grounding thing for the family.
Yes. And all of it work hand in hand, you know, and you can, you know, after they're fed for breakfast, if you have things to do, you know, you can go and do that because you know what time is nap, and it just works so well together. It really does.
It's really liberating too. You might think, oh, I have to go on a walk at this time. Oh, I have to put the baby down at this time. But the deal is, you know that at that time, the baby is going to sleep.
Yes.
Instead of, oh, is the baby going to go down? What time's the baby going to go down? That's very stressful for everyone, especially the baby.
And so did you find once you had that structure in place that it helped you to relax and be calmer?
Absolutely. It made the whole house calmer.
Yes. Everybody is calmer, because when mommy's happy, everybody's happy. Yeah. So
even this guy.
Yeah.
Might be still looking for a little bit more cuddles when the children aren't around.
Yeah. With 4 children in the house, he gets it where he can get it.
Yeah. I mean, and it does take a village, and everyone has their role. Even our animals, my children thrive with a community of support and love. So I think it's really important that mothers, new fathers, new families don't feel the expectation of having to do it all on their own. You know, if you can have outside help, that's great. Or even if you can have your mother-in-law or your sister-in-law, be accepting of accepting help. That's a really important part. It does take a village. That's why it's such an old saying.
And again, that's another reason which we've discussed previously why when you have the schedule in play and you are utilizing breastfeeding and bottle feeding, everybody can help. Your mother-in-law, your mother, your sister, the husband.
Yeah.
If you have babysitters, because if everybody's doing the same thing and everybody can predict what's going to happen, then it runs so much smoother because there's no concern over, oh, who actually has the baby right now?
Yeah. And you can
difference.
even have a date night,
Yes.
you know, because you know, okay, I'm going to put my baby down between 6 or 7 in the evening, and we know that baby's going to sleep, and you can go and have a date night, because that's also important for your relationship, because so many people get so wrapped up in the baby that they forget each other.
Yes.
So,
which is why I have 4 children. Those date nights lead to other things. Just, it's good to have the schedule. And
Structure and the schedule really worked out for your relationship.
They worked out very well for my relationship. So I could take care of my first baby, which was my husband, who I love so much.
Exactly, and because so many wives forget, or not just wives, whatever, because we've done same-sex couples, or a single mother, or surrogate, adoption, whatever. So whatever type of situation that you have in your family, you want to just be aware of not forgetting you first, because you matter first, because you have the baby, or the one who's taking care of the baby, and then the other people will fall in line. But you want to remember them.
If mama goes down, the whole ship goes down. So you have to keep a steady course for your family. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, 100%, because when the main provider for the child is at peace and happy, it just spills onto everything else in a positive way.
Total positive way. Yeah, so.
Well, Ashley, thank you so much for being here with us today.
It's an honor,
so appreciate
It's
it.
an
It's
honor.
So wonderful to see you again.
Yes. And we'll be back with another subject. But remember us, the LA
Baby Gurus. Until then,
bye.